You're listening to TechCom, a podcast series by NTT Data, dedicated to the telecommunications industry. As behavior patterns have changed more during the last years than they have in a decade, operators are now faced with a highly digital consumer that demands seamless services and the best experience possible. To tackle these challenges, the telecom industry is looking to incorporate autonomous networks and other advanced technologies in their operations. With regards to the Digital Transformation World event hosted by TM Forum in Copenhagen, here at NTT Data, we developed a series dedicated to the telecom industry and the solutions that are being developed within the Catalyst project, Autonomous Customer Experience Index for zero-touch 5G networks, to help operators manage these challenges and overcome them. In our 8th and final episode of the NTT Data podcast series called TechCom, we will discuss together with our guests how automating anomaly detection and the root cause analysis of 5G networks can improve customer experience. Here to discuss the complexities of root cause analysis on 5G networks are Fernando Luis Lamela, OSS Solutions Architect at Optare Solutions, an international IT consultancy firm specialized in digital transformation and focused on the telecommunications sector, and Fernando Rex, partner and head of network business at NTT Data Europe and Latam.
Well, hello, Fernando. Welcome today. Thank you for joining. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about the work that we did together during this year and for the preparation of the Catalyst for the TM Forum, where I think that we did a very interesting job that was very successful during the presentation. So we can go directly to some topics that I would like to talk with you. No?
Perfect.
First, from your perspective, we know that root cause analysis and clustering was some of the main contribution of your company to this project. What do you think that is about these modules and how they can represent what they can represent for the automation of the 5G networks?
Okay, thanks, Fernando. I agree with the feedback about the work we developed with all of you in the Catalyst. And regarding your question, next generation networks, especially those associated with 5G, as you know, have a high degree of complexity. They consist of numerous elements to be coordinated, increasing complexity of the network topology. These elements have been developed with such different software components, and interconnection interfaces, most of them are actually in the process of maturity and standardization, making the integration process even more complex. In fact, considering all of this, when a problem arises in the service and related to the network, it becomes more complicated to find which component has failed and elaborate an accurate and fast diagnosis. In this scenario, automatic root cause analysis tools help dealing with this complexity and making service assurance work more efficiently and adjusted in time and cost. That is one of the big questions for the CSPs. And regarding the clustering, this is another point that will help in the Catalyst through different indicators associated with users, and different sets are established based on the similarity of the characteristics and features. This makes it possible to create groups dynamically and make customer knowledge more precise, and thereby allow CSPs to offer services with greater chance of success. These two assets allow us to offer differential tools to the CSPs that can help them to deliver an adequate service to customers.
Okay. So sounds really interesting, no? And the application of these techniques for the 5G context seems that will provide a huge value, no? But in order to talk a little bit more about this, which other 5G and connectivity use cases for other verticals could be applied thanks to the implementation of these technologies?
Root cause analysis identification technologies can be seen in several environments, even non-telco environments. for instance, to be used to support medical diagnosis processes. The techniques proposed here regarding root cause analysis identification are especially valid to complex cases and with highly dynamic component topology elements, as you know. Summarizing, scenarios with continuous change and with difficulties to track the problem may be feasible to analyze with this kind of RCA technologies. In the case of clustering, we see its use as a recommendation, or if you prefer, a must-have, when you want to improve knowledge, generating different types of features, for example, making categories and you don't know exactly how to create them. The typical ones related with age and regarding the customers, relations, and kind of family are widely used by all the competitors in the CSPs market and do not provide the necessary value since they do not differentiate themselves. Being able to quickly categorize according to different characteristics provides advantage when it becomes to focusing on objectives to optimize the company's activity. Customer expectations profiling using clustering, for example, that is one of the main purposes of this element in the catalyst, help us to deliver this value to the CSPs and to go deeper in the knowledge of the customers.
As part of the work that we did in this catalyst, in the use case 3, we interacted with the capacity planning process, through different leveraging the information coming from the customer experience index. But ahead of that scope, which, from your experience, which is the most efficient way to automate dimensioning and scaling of 5G networks for the CSPs?
As you know, a 5G network is supported by some fixed elements and others that are very dynamic, as we talk about. The dynamic components, which are the ones that make a difference compared to the current network schemes, still have to reach a higher degree of maturity, and the way of dimensioning them will be gradual. Seeing the demand of, for example, for services, deploying elements evenly to that demand, or also depending on the economic context of each company and the economic context and possibilities of their customers. For this, dimensioning and scaling based on knowledge about these customers, experience perceived, and the services uses and evolution is fundamental. And to support this, a must-have is to provide elements for an automated service assurance that can provide elements to help scaling and dimensioning of the network and offering profitability improvements to CSPs at the end of the day.
You're listening to TechCom, a podcast series by NTT Data, dedicated to the telecommunications industry.
Okay, I guess that actually you did a great contribution to the catalyst, as I said before.
Thanks.
Not only in the implementation, but also in the presentation that we had in Copenhagen. I guess we had a very good moment there, and I think you did a very good contributions, as I said. But from your perspective, which are the most important contributions that Optare Solutions provided for this catalyst?
In our case, I think the most important contribution is to reinforce the vision of end-to-end automation associated with knowledge and knowing the customer from the enjoyment of their services. If we lose this point of view, as we talk about, we can do some excellent analysis of the systems that allow us to serve customers, but we will not know the real impact. The end-to-end vision makes the telco value proposition much more realistic as it adjusts to customer needs and facilitates business growth. We may have the fastest car in the world, but if our customers was looking for example, for a truck to transport goods, we don't have the right service to provide all the expectations this customer or this kind of customers have. At Optare, we always want to make the catchword of digital service enabled real, but asking to end customer if the service they receive is what they expect, and for that elements generated in this catalyst contribute assets in that direction.
Well, we provided many features on this catalyst this year, most of them very innovative. The proof is that, we were finalists in the category of innovation, no, in this event. But from your perspective, which features do you provide that can revolutionize the way that the way CSPs define their customer experience strategies?
I think it has been clear for us, for Optare, for years, that seeing the customer from start to finish is the only way to succeed in offering higher value services. As we know where the customer hearts, we detect their problems and expectations with agility. We can, through a detailed knowledge of them, offer specific solutions that bring greater benefits to the customer and with greater speed, because we know how it is and what it expects. This double vision of knowledge of the use of the services and the customers, measure it and apply globally end-to-end, is a key element to govern 5G networks. And automations makes them possible, improving the position and then the profitability of the CSPs in an increasingly complex scenario or market that is the telecom one.
Sounds really innovative. As I said before, we were moving on the innovation work of the TM Forum. But innovation could mean many things, no? Depending on the person you're talking with. So what's innovation for you for Optare Solutions?
It's a very good question, because innovation is some very relevant point that is not all the companies front in the same way. For us, innovation is a must for the company. We are a telco specialized provider, and we consider innovation as a very relevant department inside the organization. Considering a context of a changing environment and the evolution of the technologies, I think is the only way to provide or to deliver real good services for our customers. We consider innovation a key point of our success during these past years. And for example, at Optare, we have 3 working areas when carrying out innovation. Starting with the research and development area that looks for technologies that can fit options to the market within 3 to 5 years, to adequate and to build laboratory environments and related elements to test the impact measurements of these innovations translated to functionalities and to at the end to business improvements for the CSPs. For example, we are testing right now some functionalities we probably need to be considered in the future. 6G. We don't have 5G at this time closed, and we are thinking in 6G in some aspects, like context moving and something like that, regarding the infrastructure of these kind of networks of the future. And then the next phase is to elaborate different assets using the knowledge we have from the lab environments, and to put to deliver services to different customers and partners we have. Finally, summarizing, for us is a very big point of an important point and a key department for the whole company, and I think it needs to be considered as well in all the market, because it's the only way we understand to evolve this and to continue assuming the possibilities of new technologies and to deliver this as a functionalities in the market.
Thank you, Fernando. Thank you for your your explanation and your clarifications about the capabilities provided and the value that your company can provide to the CSPs and also to the project that we executed together. Again, thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you, Fernando.
And thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
The telecom industry is currently undergoing a major transformation, having to create new business models to incorporate new advanced technologies and to tackle an increasingly demanding customer are just a few of the challenges that operators are facing these days. Today we were joined by Fernando Luis Lamela, OSS Solutions Architect at Optare Solutions, and Fernando Rex, Partner and Head of Network Business at NTT Data, Europe and Latam, for an insightful conversation about the telecom industry and how automating anomaly detection and the root cause analysis of 5G networks can improve customer experience in particular. Thank you for listening to the NTT Data TechCom podcast series, where we dive deep into the changes brought on by new advanced technologies such as 5G networks in the telecom industry. We hope you have enjoyed listening.